Splinter.
Light work, no reaction.
Ooh. Okay, it's got a little kick. Oh.
Hello! I'm sure you all missed me. And, wow! This video blew up. Thank you, I guess? No, but seriously, thank you so much for, like, the amount of attention that this video has gotten. It's funny how I can just put out a video that I've been working on for maybe at least 6 months, or that's been on hold for 6 months, and then I just push out a shit post that only took, like, 3 days to work on, and this got more attention than the other one. I hate the algorithm, but that's not important. What matters is the impact that this video has made. And a lot of people started to notice it as well. SH Monsterarts just falling off recently, aka the downfall of SH Monsterarts. Keep in mind that this doesn't mean that SH Monsterarts is going to be consistent with just bad figures now. A Godzilla 1972 can easily replenish a Godzilla -1- color figure. I never talked about it when it came out, but when the SH Godzilla -1 released, there was a lot of backlash. People kissing Haya's toes and just whispering to them, please, save me from this unjusted mannery. Did I react the same? Kind of. I wasn't as overreactive as everyone else was. I was just shitting on -1. I mean, look at these two side by side. This is basically a scam. They could get a lawsuit over this. Lots of people were not happy about it either. And sure, I could always just get the Super 7 one, but it sucks because we could have gotten an actual good figure. Point is, because of the actual quality of the figure and the insane price point that they're able to vomit out of their mouths, it's not really worth a buy for me, nor for a lot of people. Neither will be the new one, which costs like $5 more just to splat out some gray paint. But the Toho figures aren't really the main focus of this video. Yeah, that's right. We are going to be talking about the newer releases for Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. Look, man, I just want to go to bed already. I was not anticipated for the New Empire line. I wanted a figure of Daddy Evolved, but not from there, because I didn't know what was going to happen. I'm aware that SH fucked up on -1 on their part, but I was still willing to give them another chance. And if they blew up this chance, then that would have been their final nail in the coffin. And what an amount of shit has happened. About a month after trailer 1 for the New Empire dropped, SH finally teased their first 2 figures for the line. Oh boy, I'm so excited to see the Godzilla Evolved and Kong Beast Glove figures from the trailer. I can't do this, no. SH, what in the flying noodle fuck are these? Now look, I understand that Godzilla and Kong are still gonna be in their base forms in the film, but SH, these are the exact same fucking sculpts that we have been given back in 2021! Okay, now, before I even rant on at this point, I'll go ahead and give some positives. Like the least amount. I really like the different blues on Godzilla. I mean, it's not blue raspberry, and as much as I prefer this color to be on the design, I still like the main blue. Another thing I like are the little blue splats on his face. It makes him look more film accurate. That's kinda all I have, sorry. Main issue, why is he so glossy? With the original 2021 figure, he had a perfectly fine balance with the paint on his dorsal plates and body, but this? They managed to mess up his face even more, managed to ruin his proportions because his arms look like gummy worms, managed to fuck up the teeth even more, considering the fact that on the original figure his mouth was just full of blue beetle vomit. And to top it off with all of that, the most insulting thing is presented on here. He comes with a heat ray piece. Now, how is that insulting, you may ask? Well, maybe because the original didn't come with a heat ray piece, and he's all blue and shit. This one? He doesn't even have the blue shit in his mouth. In fact, Godzilla uses his heat ray in GVK more than in GXK. So why wasn't it included with the original 2021 figure? You don't include your heat ray accessories all the time, SH, even with your heat ray figures such as fucking GMK. God damn it, SH! Plus, it looks like he paid $2 for his claws and toe claws. And somehow they make him like $5 more expensive than 2021. Same with Kong, but we'll get to him. Alright, so how's his articulation? Well, obviously I don't have the figure on me, but I know a good friend who does. Take it away, Hayden.
I'm pretty much here on behalf of my good friend Toucher on Instagram to kind of show you the comparisons and, you know, all the qualms and the queries of these figures. Okay, with the 2021 figure, keep in mind this one's slightly customized, so aside from looks, I genuinely think, yeah, I like the blue much better on the newer one. But let me just set it up here. So articulation wise, I think they're pretty much the same. The arms are on a ball joint. You know, they both have that awkward left. No, that's the right arm. Stupid. Oh my god. Legs, they're both pretty decent, solid. This one feels a little bit more solid, but yeah, other than that, tail, I had to glue like one of the ball joints because at the time I got it, because it kept repeatedly popping out. Okay, now this one, yeah, that pops out pretty easily right there at the close to the edge of the tail. But other than that, both 2021 and 2024, they're decent.
Thank you so much, Hayden. I'll make sure to come back to you right for Kong. One more thing that Hayden wanted to tell you guys is that he really wanted to include the night color version, but let's be real, you guys don't want to see that fucking shit. Okay, now Kong, on the other hand, he isn't actually that bad compared to Godzilla. I'll explain why. For one, Kong is actually a better looking figure. He's actually accurate to his film counterpart, and I like how they added his gray fur. It really does still give him this old Kratos vibe, even though he's actually in his 40s. Problem is, he still has the same sculpt, and I wish they could have just changed the roaring head. They could have just benefited us for adding the event exclusive face. Paint wise, he's not so bad. He's got the grays, he's got the much darker browns. The only thing I wish they could have added in was that little tiny bit of glossing finish that they put on the first Kong, except they kind of overdid it on the first Kong. I just think they could have added that and try to make the figure look a little bit more real, just like how the first Kong was. Again, still not bad, but there should have been some mild changes for the paint and some huge changes for the head sculpt. One very last thing for Kong. Where the fuck is his silver tooth? He had that shit on since the very beginning of the film, and the box says Kong 2024, so there's no excuse. Where's the tooth? All SH had to do was paint the damn tooth. In fact, other companies didn't even paint the damn tooth on him. This is also why I said earlier that they should have made a new head sculpt, so that way they can make changes and then they can just add in new things, like the tooth. Alright, so articulation on this guy. Again, don't have this figure, but Hayden can come back and take it again.
Now with the monkeys, both versions of 2021. Yes, I say both versions because if you're an incel P-brain like me, then you know you kind of get carried away. But for those of you who don't know, which you probably don't, there's the SDCC exclusive version, which I kind of wanted to include this one since you know, despite the minor similarities, there are some differences. Not only just being in the chest, which these scratches here are actually sculpted in, well, these ones right here are just kind of painted on. Also, for those of you who are wondering if this weird line on the back is necessary, yes, that's actually accurate. I found at least a couple shots where he has that. Alright, but I think actually there could be one or two. This arm is slightly stiffer than the right one, and also, yeah, down here. Oh, okay, yeah, that was this foot moves more freely than this one back here, but articulation, it's the same. It's the same paint, minor, very, oh, you didn't see it, but he fell over. Minor differences in paint, but actually, in this one right here, that, you see, there are some little blood splotches around his body. The ones on his face, these are not actually painted. Those, you can't see it, but it's actually, yeah, can you just barely see it, but those little blood marks, those are actually printed on. That's not paint.
Okay, two things I want to cover that Hayden brought up because I forgot to. On the event exclusive Kong, those battle marks that Kong got from Godzilla are actually sculpted in the chest. And if you look at the newer Kong, it's just painted. Okay, one more thing is that I did not know what that painted line was on his back, but then I realized it was actually film accurate, and it was when in GVK in the Hong Kong fight, Godzilla shot his heat ray breath at Kong and it actually damaged his back, which was a very obvious thing. I just didn't know they would actually carry that detail. Well done. Last thing I wanted to talk about were the accessories, and you probably noticed that I didn't do Godzilla's accessories. That's because I wanted to go ahead and save all of the accessories for last. Go ahead, Hayden.
Despite these figures being similar in many ways, however, accessories can actually kind of differ from depending on their releases. You got, oh boy, there goes the bag. Bags just freaking flew everywhere. Oops, let me get these two out of there. So, accessories, only things just not even new. The 2024 Atomic Breath, the same hands with 2021, same exact new hands. Nothing's really changed. Kong, the accessories with the 2021, 2024, they stay the same, but despite new axe with translucent paint. That is great. Yeah, I kind of, excuse me for repainting some of these, sorry, but the 2021 exclusive Kong, the accessories are very different. So unlike the original 2021 release, where it comes with two of the same hands, the fist and the axe holding hands. It doesn't come with the relaxed hands or the gorilla walking hands. It comes with these new splayed out open hands, a hand to hold the heave, pointing hand for Gia, and a hand to hold the Mecha Godzilla head. So yeah, and these effects for the axe and a fully charged axe, not gonna lie, I prefer this. It's much better. But yeah, other than that, almost everything is pretty much the same. The roaring heads, okay, there it is. God, dude, it's so windy out. Roaring heads pretty much the same. 2024. I painted the tooth. I don't fucking care. 2021 SDC, and yeah, that's the original. Yeah, almost everything is entirely the same. Oh, I forgot to mention the 2024 comes with the King of the Monsters alternate mouth. Well, that was pretty much my little intake on the figures there. But yeah, and back to you, Chatter.
Thank you so much, Hayden, for being in this video. I wouldn't have been able to make these comparisons nor these points without him. Go check out his Instagram in the description whenever you guys can. Anyways, so wow. Yeah, a lot of yapping for just two figures alone. Oh well, guess I just wait for the movie. And the other figures, I guess. What's he doing? Is he getting pegged? Oh my god! What's this? What's this? Did they reveal anything else? No. There's gotta be more. No, there has to be more. What is that? No! Midnight, what the hell? No! No! And here it is. SH officially reveals their next figures for the line. Before I even begin clowning on these figures, I'm gonna go ahead and ask a general friend what he thinks of the evolved figure. And trust me, there's a lot of things wrong with this figure, but I'm just gonna ask him real quick.
Okay, I'll give it to you. The figure itself, it looks really fucking good. I would say the painting and the sculpting, magnificent. I would say that's good. Like the pink, god damn, I love that pink. Like just a beautiful shade of pink on the dorsal fins. That is probably one of my most favorite things about this figure. But the thing I hate about it the most is obviously the overpriced. Like the price that they're selling this fucking figure is goddamn. But at the same time, I do like its painting and the sculpt, like I said before. I mean, yeah, that's really about it. But I would say this is probably one of my more favorite type of Godzillas that I've seen in SH Monsterarts. But one more time, I'm gonna say the overpricing. Out of all of it, it's a really good figure. I would want to get it, but I'm not, so whatever.
Thanks, Banjo. Now, I only asked him that, and I have gained the response of what a normal person would think when it comes to this figure. And that's kind of just the average person, because the overall feelings on this figure are kind of mixed. And it's the same for me. Also, I know I've been treating this figure as kind of bad, but it's actually not, it's fine. It just has the worst problems to it. Okay, so, the sculpt is actually fine. It looks great. They finally fixed the head sculpt, and oh my god, it looks so much better. It actually looks really good. I'd say it's the best Monsterverse head we've seen. That doesn't mean they'll fuck it up though. The proportions look really nice, and one thing that I actually noticed that is better than Haya is that they got the tip of the main dorsal plate accurate. That's kind of it. That's like the one thing it has against Haya. One thing I wanted to mention was that on the other two figures, Godzilla's too glossy and Kong is too dry. So I was scared this figure was going to be one of two things. Very wet or very dry. But this figure does not have any of the problems and is just fine. Last thing I want to mention that Banjo brought up was that sexy ass pink. They did an incredible job with the pink paint on the dorsal plates. It makes it pop off. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Because I don't know if you guys ever noticed this, or I never noticed it until my friend Morrow pointed it out. He's green. I guess you know what that means. So this is basically deja vu at this point. When the SH Monsterarts Godzilla 2014 officially shipped out in September of 2014, there were a lot of problems. Now, I never got this figure. I actually got the Spitfire version of this guy. And while it does fix some of the problems I'm about to address, they still kind of remain on the Spitfire, but it's not as bad as the original. The only problem I have with this figure sculpt-wise is just the inaccurate head. It obviously looks nothing like him in the film. What makes it worse is that in the in-hand images, he just looks so fucking goofy. Hell, even on my Spitfire copy, the eyes are all messed up. But that's not the point. The point is that he's so fucking green. In the film, his chest has a very brownish color. Even when it's daytime, you can still see it. I mean, come on, it's even present on the Haya figure for God's sake. But nah, they had to go ahead and put an ugly fucking booger color on his toenails. His stomach all the way up to the very tip of his neck is just green. He looks like he got a fungus infection. This just scares me. Point is, the figure has a lot of inaccuracies that it shouldn't have in the first place, especially with its color palette. So imagine when I say that I was shocked to see the absolute amount of green that is present on the evolved figure. Now that's obviously an exaggeration, considering that the 2014 got it worse, but it's still surprising surprising that it's even present in the first place. The figure's painted well in a lot of areas. It's just that the main palette here is green on the chest, right in center. It's not just the chest too, it's also on the arms and on the thighs and fuck, the fungus toenails. At this point, this is probably going to be another repeat of 2014. Eyes ruined, teeth ruined. It's a whole another -1 again. And it's already present and possible that the articulation is going to be flawed. Look at this picture of the evolved figure on a stand. Here it is 2 days later. Embarrassing, right? Keep in mind that this is the prototype of the figure. It gave up itself after 2 days. Don't believe me? Well, you're blind if you can't see the fucking putty right there. They literally just put putty under its feet rather than trying to pose it again back to normal. The left foot is flopped as well. I mean, come on. The last thing I'm going to mention is the fact that this is, oh, I don't know, $130 fucking. And the fact that this comes with no accessories other than alternative hands whatsoever is beyond fucking insulting. Now look, if you want to buy this figure, I don't mind, go ahead. Literally, I don't care. I'm just saying that the Kia is literally a third of a quarter of its price, $50. And even though it doesn't come with anything, you're still getting a more accurate depiction of Godzilla in the film, and you're getting more for less in a way. Story short, I'm probably not gonna get this, considering the fact that I'm probably not gonna get anything out of this, except for a loose torso. Well, surprisingly, that's not even it. And it's for what the whole video has been building up to. Yeah, unfortunately that's real. I'll save it for the review, but Scar King is my favorite Monsterverse villain after watching GXK. There were a lot of things that I really loved about him, so I had to get a figure of him. And even if Hayo was doing their own things, I was actually pretty excited to see what SH would do. I'm really just hoping that they actually make this guy look cool. You're fucking serious. At this point, this doesn't even look like Scar King. This looks like Goji Center's depiction of Scar King. The only thing I even like about this figure is just the proportions of the entire body, the use of red, and the crystal. That's literally it. And look, he's not the worst SH Monsterverse figure, but he might as well be there because this is just pissing me off. First off, his skin is way too gray. It's more so just a chimpanzee kind of color, like more so a darkish tan. On both faces, he has black pupils, which isn't accurate at all. He only has 2 colors, light blue and white. That's literally it. They also sculpted the fur on the chest. Oh my god. I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. Yuji, what kind of fucking crack were you on? I want some of that. His normal face looks like none of the expressions he's made throughout the film. Like, what the hell? The best you could do is give him a growling face or even a smiling face. But that roar face utterly just pushes my balls. Because the jawline and mouth are like kind of too short. I don't even know how to explain it, but it looks deformed. It looks like he has rabies. Moving on to the whiplash, yes, there's like 2 problems with the whiplash. The jaw is too long and it's not even the right color. The whiplash is supposed to have an old bone color, not a wood color. They really dropped the ball in this figure, holy shit. What makes it worse is that this figure is slightly taller than Kong. How the hell does that even happen? These sizes should be the opposite. And speaking of Kong, oh goody, look what we got right here. A fucking Bossblob accessory. And guess what? If you want this, you're unfortunately gonna have to get this Scar King figure. It's just like the Dragon Ball figures and fucking Marvel Legends. I can't fucking do this. Can't do this. One last thing I want to go through. Why that price? It should be cheaper if we're honest. Probably because of that stupid Beast Club adding it more because they couldn't even add it in Kong's figure in the first place. Like, they barely care about Kong. They even barely care to paint his accessories. Like this axe, I didn't even mention it, but why does it have white outlines? Just no. Plus the fact that the Beast Glove has very little detail to it and it just looks unfinished. I can't do this anymore, man. So to put it short and simple, it's honestly just a mess. These figures had a lot of good potential, but they honestly just dropped the ball. The best looking one is honestly just Evolved, but that's just speaking by sculpt matters. Here's something I need to address. If you want to buy these figures, go ahead. Nothing's stopping you. You can go ahead and buy whatever you want. It's your money. I'm just letting you know there are other options, and they are better. But if you really want these, then go ahead. Just don't bully others for getting whatever they want. That's not what this video is made for. This video was made to express my feelings on the Monsterverse line. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This was like a really wild ride. Oh yeah, I really should have just said this earlier, but thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. It really means the world to me that a lot of people watch my content and really support it. You guys are honestly the best, and I wouldn't have been able to find an audience without you. I'm Chucher, and this has been a good one. Anyways, peace out until the next one. I feel like we're forgetting one more thing. Oh yeah, Shimo, that tease. I mean, not much I can really say about it considering it's a tease. I'll probably post my thoughts later on a community post when the full figure gets revealed, but yeah, the Playmates looks better.